They said it couldn't be done. Even Russ was telling me at lunch the other day. He's like, there's no way. It's not going to fit a G8 Plus. And Rob the Retro Tech Dad was like, it's not going to fit a G8 Plus. I'm here to tell you, Rob was saying it's too thick, but it fits. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the ASUS Flow Z13, and we're going to see, can we make it into a retro gaming beast and just a gaming beast in general? Not only that, but I want to see, can this be my one and done device? Can it replace all of my handhelds? Could it replace my daily driver Surface laptop? Could it replace even gaming on my phone? Could it be my one and done gaming platform? We're going to find out. Now, this is more of a first look, not really a full review. Do stay tuned. There will be a part 2. We're going to be diving in even deeper, but I want a full week to test this thing before I deliver my final thoughts on it. I've had it for about 3 days now, and I've captured a bunch of footage, but I just don't think I have enough yet to say definitively what I think yet. There's still just a ton of TDP testing to do. I want to get that TDP as low as possible so we can eke out as much out of this 70 watt-hour battery as we can, because this thing is just a crazy beast. But all right, so you're going to be watching my unboxing, just my journey exploring the device today and seeing what we learn along the way. All right, let's hop in. Look at this frickin' thing. Look at this big old honkin' power adapter, huh? 200 watts, god dang. This was sent over for review from ASUS. All right, ultra high refresh rate, 500 nits, high brightness, 100% DCI P3 coverage, HDR and advanced audio. Ooh, try out these dang speakers, what we're gonna have to do there. It feels very freaking sleek and high end so far, look at this. ROG Nebula display, 180 hertz, 500 nits. I do believe this is an IPS display, which for so much money, $2,000, you'd figure they'd go OLED, but I guess they want to get like that particular refresh rate, so they stuck with IPS. So, ooh, oh, look at this kickstand. All right, you got a nice little tech window. You can see the innards, see what it do in there. Got a camera up here. I like the feeling on this. That feels very nice. It looks like it could pick up fingerprints, but it is nice and matte, maybe a high quality leather. Oh, I like the travel on those keys and the spacing. Nice big trackpad. Listen to this click. Yeah, I like the feeling though of this touchpad. Closest thing I can compare it to is the 11-inch, which also has a touchpad. The key travels a little smaller here. It's a little bit not as big, but this is a lot lighter weight, which is nice. I was playing on this for a while. Shout out to Neo Spartan who sent the X1 for me to take a look at for this video. Neo Spartan is an awesome member of our Discord. Shout out to our Discord. One of the things that's cool about the X1 anyways, is that we don't need a G8 Plus for this, because you can just slap on a couple controllers, then you have that. Let's do a quick scale weight. We got 1248 grams for the 1X Player X1, and 1,623 grams for the ASUS ROG Flow Z13. Do a pocket test. It's not gonna work. I like this Republic of Gamers. We have that right up the top there. Very futuristic look. Looks like we have more vents there. Let's look at inputs on the side here. So we have 2 USB-C ports, HDMI, yeah, micro SD card slot there. And we have lots of vents here for the air, which is good. And I can feel the metal down here, this nice metal or aluminum. That feels good. We have big old USB-C on this side. We have actually a 3.5 headphone out, which is nice to see on these. A power button, looks like volume up and down, and some sort of function or controls button. Look at that, proprietary. Love that we do that. We should be able to power this from the USB-C ports as long as we use, you know, a 200 watt GON charger, which I hope that works. So we'll see. After we run the updates in Windows, you do want to make sure to update anything sitting in the My ASUS app, as well as Armory Crate, which is their handy dandy control center we've seen on the Ally X and other ASUS products. Okay, that's definitely volume up and down. Screen Expert gives us quick access buttons. Look at that. So we get Armory Crate, operating mode, performance, turbo, silent, or Windows. So I'm guessing silent should give us good battery life, but looks like we can customize that. Imagine if you're spending $2,000 on a beefy tablet, you might want to actually invest in a screen protector. I usually say, at least for the lower end devices, and we can skip it. So probably screen protect this one. Maybe a shell or something case to keep this safe here. I hope that's really durable. So I was looking online to see, all right, I got to protect this sucker. This company here on Amazon, they're called Eagle Wolf. Okay, never mind. Look at this. AliExpress is the way to go. Look at all these different skins we could put on this thing. Way more colorful. That's fun. And look, they have the exact same front and back tempered glass for way cheaper and way sooner. Sorry, I just keep finding cool stuff about this. One more thing. Look at this. Easy access to the M.2 expansion right there underneath the flap. Let's find out if we can do IPEGA. 13 inches. That's not gonna work. Nope. Look at this bedazzled GameSir G8 Plus controller. This might work, but it doesn't stretch far enough. So what do? Well, you do this little trick. They said it couldn't be done. Even Russ was telling me at lunch the other day. He's like, there's no way. It's not gonna fit a G8 Plus. And Rob, the retro tech dad, was like, it's not gonna fit a G8 Plus. I'm here to tell you, Rob was saying it's too thick, but it fits. It just barely. Is that not the ultimate retro handheld the most glorious giant 13-incher that you've ever seen? Leave a comment down below if it's not. We're gonna Bluetooth up to this bad boy here. Now I want to ride this controller up a little bit higher, sort of, so it's more centered, but the problem is the screen expert button's right there, so I don't want to go above that and accidentally press it. However, you do get a little bit more, it doesn't seem to press it, you do get a little bit more grip if you do. So it registers this as a PlayStation controller. Interesting. You know what I could do? If we could pull that kickstand out, I wonder if we could go under the kickstand. There we go. That's a nicer grip. We can still use the kickstand. That's comfortable. Oh, dang. Yeah. Okay. You know, viewing angles are not perfect on here. One thing you're seeing, it's not an OLED, so you're not getting pure blacks. But it's still very good compared to other screens. And we do have an auto rotate on, which I'm going to go ahead and turn that off unless you want to do some Tate mode. You could. You definitely could. There may be some like third-party controllers like your BSP D8, D9s from like AliExpress. I'll link those as well. That should stretch a little bit more. And if you further want stability, you could even put the keyboard on while you're playing. Look at that. Magnets. How do those work? Look at those magnets. Oh, do you see that? The keys light up too. Look at this. Oh, with different RGB. Of course there's RGB. Here's another cool use case. You know, maybe you don't want to have this blocking the sides and you don't want this thing stretched. You can just use this as a controller and it's still Bluetooth when you pull it off. We are at 75%. I'm actively watching the battery drop here. That gives me battery anxiety. You know, Russ was telling me the battery in this does drain a little bit faster than he would have liked. So we're gonna do some energy saver mode here. Let's see if we can save on this a little bit. Of course, running Bluetooth is gonna be a further little bit of a battery drain with this controller attached. One thing I really miss not having is on the ROG Ally, you get the quick center, so you can quickly put on like FPS if you want to see how fast your games are running, things like that. This, so far, I'm not seeing an option for that. So let's see if there's any. Here we go, in-game FPS counter. Top left. All right, now we're getting our frame counter. Those fans are loud. Damn, those graphics are good though. 1280 by 800, so it auto-picked what it wanted. Okay, we're gonna go down to high and let's see, can we get up to 60? Now we're hitting 60. And let's do frame generation on. Okay, we're way above 60 now, 112. And let's see how we do without power, how about that? We're actually able to stay above 60 right now on battery. And temps are not too bad right now either. Next up, I'm also gonna get emulation going on this, so we'll test that out and have some fun. All right, I am back here, and now we're going to do some emulation, starting with Pico 8. I just have my handy-dandy external here, plugging into the USB-C port. We could use a micro SD card, maybe a 2 terabyte, but I'm just going to keep it simple for the moment. Pico 8, band's favorite game, Celeste. and taking a look at some more emulation, looking at the front end launch box here in big box mode. This is an awesome one to try, although my preferred option would be EmuDeck. I haven't set that up on here just yet. This is just on my external hard drive, ready to go, and we need to play my favorite game, E.T. the Extraterrestrial for Atari 2600. This IPS panel is just, yeah, surprisingly vivid. No! No wonder this ended up in a landfill. And we're about to load up some Battlefield here, and we'll really put it through its paces. And we'll pair it with a controller like this. Simple Xbox Elite controller here. All right, now we're on performance mode, and we are capping it at 60 FPS. We're at 1080p resolution now. Hitting 60, no problem. Let's see if we can push it. So we are now at full resolution on this thing, and we are hitting 60 FPS. That's crazy. 2560 by 1600. Not something I have seen even on the Zephyrus laptops that I've used. So the performance on tap here is freaking phenomenal. My God. Might and Magic 8, which I can combine with 6 and 7, so I can play them all as a trilogy with cool enhancements. Are we gonna do it? No good. GOG is usually pretty flawless on a lot of systems. That's a bummer. All right, let's listen to these speakers. Dolby Atmos. Mid-range sounds pretty decent. The upper end sounds nice, crisp, and clear, but there is a noticeable lack of bass here compared to even the ROG Ally X. So overall, I would say a solid 7.5 out of 10 for audio in my experience here. Well, what did you all think of the ASUS Flow Z13 395 Plus Max AI Strix Halo Beast? There's a lot more to cover in this, so do stay tuned, but let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this just absolutely ridiculous, coming in at anywhere from $2,100 and above? You know, does this make any sense whatsoever at all? Or are you better served by a dedicated, purpose-built handheld for your gaming needs? In my 3 days or so of playing with this, having it around, trying it on the couch, trying it in bed, using it outside, I really think that this could replace all of my devices, but it does have some caveats already that we'll be covering more in the next video. But just initially, I love that it doesn't get too hot on the keyboard. The heat all comes up the top of the vents. Battery life with the built-in default profiles is absolutely awful. 2 hours seems to be about best case scenario when you're gaming, even on the silent profile. But if you use some TDP tools, you could get that as low as 7 watts. Check out the Fox's video in the description to learn all about that. It is so cool what you can achieve, because the Strix Halo chip that's in this, the 395, has the ability to go from a really low TDP all the way up past 45 watts and above, but that's where you have some diminishing returns. And so there's so much you can do. If you want to use it as a dedicated ultimate retro gaming handheld, probably complete overkill. If you want to use it as an AI workhorse, okay, I think this makes a lot of sense. But you can get similar performing gaming laptops for much less money. Really, what is the use case? I think if you're looking to condense all of your devices, your gaming PC, everything into just one device, this easily could be it. The sound is not the best. The screen, not OLED, but a nice IPS with 180 Hz refresh, which is super cool to see, and that performs really well. I got sucked into this thing for hours. I was game testing, and the first game I popped up just alphabetically was Atari 50 on Steam, and I ended up just sitting there and beating the game just from start to finish, just trying out every Atari game and going through the lineage and the history. After all that, I'm like, man, I really want to do more with this. I want to do more retro gaming on this. It's a ridiculous use case, but I want to have the most powerful CPU, GPU combo on the planet, which is this Strix Halo APU, by the way. This is the most powerful iGPU CPU combo on the planet as of right now. It beats Lunar Lake, it blows that out of the water. It beats the 8840U, especially at those higher TDP points, 20 watts and above, and it beats almost everything else, even desktop PCs, and it has the equivalent GPU power of a mobile 4060 card just built in. So it is so cool, but we can see much better battery life. I know that we can get up to 9 hours of battery life if we're indie gaming and we're running this at the lower, 7 to 10 watt TDP range, and that's what I want to play around with more because I really want to turn this into my all-in-one beast. Okay, we're gonna pause it there. This is now out today, by the way, to buy. You can order it from Newegg, from Best Buy, and it does start at $2,100, but you can also get the 64 gigabyte configuration for about, I think it's $2,300. But in this one, it comes with 32 gigs, so a safe bet is to set it to 8 gigs. For the purpose of the video and my benchmarking so far, I've been doing just the 4 gig default, which has been good, but I'm gonna try for the next video to do 8 gigs. 16 gigs, really you start to see some diminishing returns there, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense, but 8 gigs really I think is gonna be the sweet spot for us. So do stay tuned for that. I can't wait to share more with you. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to stay in the know for all of your favorite retro handhelds. And a special thanks once again to all of our channel members, patrons, and subs who make everything here possible for us. Perks with RH start for as little as $3 a month. Join us in our Discord to chat and play some games with us, and join me on the next video, part 2, which should be the more deep dive experiential review. And until the next time, this has been Stubbs saying, take care of those handhelds, everybody. And all-in-ones. And each other.